In issuing her decision, Judge April Perry seemed to question the rationalization that has been used by the government as they have attempted to federalize the National Guard for use in Illinois by stating that it was ICE's own actions that have really led to the current situation, particularly since September the 12th. And I'm going to try and quote Judge Perry as much as possible here. She said, "I simply can't credit defendants' declarations due to the extent that they contradict state and local law enforcement due to the growing body of independent and objective evidence that DHS's perception of events are simply unreliable." And in trying to further that argument that DHS's version of events is unreliable, she pointed towards 4 judicial rulings that have come down in the last 48 hours, one of them implying that ICE had been violating the statutes by the consent decree by conducting warrantless arrests, also pointing to charges being dropped against several of the protesters that had been arrested at the Broadview detention facility over the last couple of weeks, saying that this is all proof that there is no credible evidence that there is a danger of rebellion in the state of Illinois. Well, she did go on to acknowledge, of course, that some of the protests have gotten out of hand and acknowledging the violence against ICE agents. She did, however, and this was key, one of the arguments that the Department of Justice had put forth was that they had to nationalize the Guard because federal agents have been unable to enforce the federal laws during this immigration crackdown in Illinois over the last several weeks. The judge rejected that argument, saying that statistically speaking, ICE's enforcement of the law is higher than it was a year.
This is an important decision, not just for the state of Illinois, but for the entire country. The question of state sovereignty was addressed in this decision. The question of whether or not the President of the United States should have unfettered authority to militarize our cities was answered today.
Governor Pritzker also issued a statement after the judge's ruling on the social media platform X, in which he said that Donald Trump is not a king and his administration is not above the law. Today, the court confirmed what we all know, and that is that there is no credible evidence of a rebellion in the state of Illinois. Now, we should clarify that this TRO lasts for 14 days, and one thing that was not made clear, and it wasn't clarified by Kwame Raoul either, was what does this mean for the National Guard troops that are already on the ground in Illinois? Do they have to leave? Are they able to stay but not be deployed? These are all questions that have not been answered. And again, because this TRO only lasts for 14 days, we could be back here all over again 2 weeks from now.